Good evening, grinders. Let's get right to it. So, on last week, October 9th, I gave you guys two plays in the Patreon. By the way, I'm going to give you a free play because this contract is actually cheaper. This Uber contract is actually cheaper now than when I got into it. But on October 9th, last week, I believe that was Thursday, I was looking at Google and I'm like, man, I was still upset because I missed that last run that it had once the courts basically allow Google to continue to function as they were. They weren't operating some type of monopoly. They didn't have to break up their partnership with Apple, and they got the green light to push ahead. And I missed that run up. I had some shares, but I sold them and I went all in another stock. But I was upset I missed that run. So I said if Apple comes down to a certain price, which was 240, I am jumping in. So that's exactly what happened. And we are doing pretty well with that contract right now. And I'll show you just one moment. But the free play I'm going to give you is I am very bullish on Uber. I believe Uber is going to hit over $100 a share and hold over that, probably going up into the earnings, if not post earnings. I'm optimistic it's going to have a nice Q3. I don't believe there's any reason why they shouldn't. They've been operating very nicely, so that's what I'm looking at. That's a free play. You don't have to be in the Patreon to get that. I like this Uber 100 call. Expires, so we got a little bit of time. Expires in March 20th of 2026, and it's cheap. It only costs $950, $9.50 per contract. Right now, I think it's 10% off of that, so it's even cheaper. So do your research. Like I said, I'm already in it. I'm actually down 10%. Not adding on right as of right now. The market is kind of choppy, but if we get any type of signal that's going to say all systems go and the market is just going to run, I might be add on to it if it's still low. But I did want to show you that Google contract and how we're doing so far. So it's nothing crazy. The contract is up. You see right here, 36%, up $683. Like I said, nothing crazy, but happy to see it move 18% today. When it was a pretty choppy market today. So let's look at the market. Let's go over that. What happened to Yahoo? I guess I closed out of it. So we always start off with the scoreboards, the indexes, and that kind of gives us an overall feel of how the market operated, how it performed for the day. So S&P 500 was up today, just under 0.5%. Nasdaq finished positive, up 0.66%, and the Dow was actually essentially flat, but it did close lower today. We already talked about Google. Google shares were up 2.27%. Big Dog Nvidia was pretty much flat, down negative 0.1%, 1/10 of a percent down for the day. A lot of pretty much the entire market opened up really nice today, and it kind of just sold off as the day went on. But we did see Amazon open positive, went negative, probably over 1% or so, and then climbed back, still finished lower for the day. DraftKings, we've been talking about DraftKings. I like the price action today. It opened up higher, fell a little bit, but it kind of consolidated around this $35 range. So that was good to see. We're seeing consolidation. Remember, it was going down, 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 down. It's good to see this consolidation. So maybe if the overall market continues to push higher, we'll see DraftKings shares move higher, but probably stay around this range until earnings comes and we get a definitive answer of what's going on with competition, with Polymarket, Kalshi, these prediction markets, or event contracts that are potentially taking business from the traditional sports books. But I like the side of the bet that I'm on, which is DraftKings, and the downturn in shares was overdone, and some of these shares that you could have bought for cheap are going to be very, 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 very lucrative in the future. Well, nothing crazy, but I think this stock could definitely, you can definitely see $60 within a year from now. So I'm not mad at that. Meta had a pretty good day. QQQ, we just jumped into play there. It was up very nice today. A high of I think 606. Yeah, 606.70. But it closed around 602, up 0.7% today. Uber was up very nice, fell down lower, and then clawed its way back to finish positive. Um, Palo Alto seems to be fizzling out. I have a contract that's out. Yeah, down 5% the past 5 days. Well, everything's down, but it hasn't recovered since that Trump tweet. So unfortunately, which we did not get a tweet today, so that's good to hear. But unfortunately, hasn't bounced back. I have a contract that's out for a year, so I'm gonna hold on to that for a while. And then we were playing that financial sector, the XLF ETF. A lot of the banks reported today, but like I said, it opened strong and then kind of petered off. Visa and MasterCard were both down today, which are kind of heavy components in the fund. So, yeah, Visa is 7%, MasterCard 6%. Berkshire, I don't think did too much, and I think JP Morgan was up just a little bit today. But yeah, that's overall. Going down to our other companies we're looking at. Robinhood didn't do too much. Netflix down basically 1% today. Vertiv Holdings had a nice day, nice bounce, up 3% today. They've seen a lot of momentum, up about 8% the past 5 days, so pretty good. Apple had a good day. They announced they are rolling out new products, including they're putting new chips in the Macs, the iPads, and then they put the new chips in the Vision Pro. The Vision Pro is still going to be 3,500, and I believe they also so the battery is going to be a little bit stronger. The neck strap, they made that more comfortable and maybe a little bit visually more crisp as well, and move a little bit faster. So if you're someone who's looking for a Vision Pro this holiday season, you get a stronger chip, should perform a little bit better, and it also has it's more compatible for those heavy workload AI apps and things that you want to use on there as well. So I wish I had 3,500 laying around. I would definitely get it. I did a demo of it when it was released, and I fell in love with it. But it's very expensive for what it does. Now, if I could, as far as I know, you can go on Apple TV. You can watch some of the soccer games and stuff like that. And I know I did see it's going to allow you to watch some live NBA games. But if I could get NBA League Pass and watch pretty much any game on there, I would definitely sign up. I don't believe they have the capability to do that right now. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that's true. So have to do a little bit of research. But I would love to get something like that. Just don't have $3,500 laying around for a little fun gadget. But let's go back to what we were discussing previously. And as we were talking about, Google's up 35%. So I don't want those gains to just get washed away because of what is going on this weekend, the no Kings Day rally. So Trump loves to go on social media and post. And in a weekend like this upcoming weekend, I can't imagine he's going to shut his mouth. So he might say something that might be detrimental to the market, and you can't really react over the weekend. So if Google keeps moving, which if we could look at the charts and we'll close at that. If Google keeps moving the way that it's been moving, this contract might be up about 50% by the end of Friday, and I might just cut that thing loose. A lot of the market, everything went red that last hour. Well, Google actually finished pretty strong here. As you can see, this trend is moving higher for the past week. I love to see that. And then we can kind of compare it to let's go to QQQ. Look at the QQQ. That last hour, you can see it was red. The sellers took over. Now the buyers bought and fought their way back up, but compared it to Google, that last hour, green. So it's good to see. If you're someone who likes to look at the 4 hour chart, look at the 4 hour, still see that upward trend, and then the 1 day, you're going to see the same thing as well, that upward trend. So I'm bullish on Google. Like I said, if that contract hits 50% or higher this weekend, I might just cut it because Google's also kind of treading towards. I'm looking at like 260. If it gets to 260, that was kind of like my target. And I kind of wanted to exit this right before earnings if it did get to the 260. Because a lot of times the stocks will run up. They don't get anything to really, like Google beats in the top and the bottom line, and they don't raise guidance, or their cloud business isn't accelerating as much as some of the investors or analysts were implying it might be. That could actually have the stock go down lower until eventually go back up in the future. But I'll have this contract out until January, so I might not play around with it. If it hits my 260 target, I might get out of there, especially to what's going on this weekend. So that is my No Kings Day playbook. If you have anything that is up nicely and it's short duration and you want to play around with it, you like your profits, I would highly suggest you probably exit some of those trades the end of Friday, heading into this weekend, because who knows what's going to happen. So that's what I got for you guys. Enjoy your evening.